So in case you were waiting for Martin Scorsese to continue talking about how much he hates Marvel, let's be real. He really didn't know the difference between Marvel and other comic book films out there. Marvel's just the name. He admits he just hates all comic book movies because he's only seen 2 of them. Now look, I'm not saying you're supposed to watch like 30 films and be like, you know what, this isn't for me. That's not what I'm saying here. It's all to individual tastes. Films though, when it comes to them, there's a lot more to a lot of films than just what is thrown into a genre and it's like, that's a comic book movie. Or that's a Marvel movie. That's a DC movie. So Martin Scorsese was recently in about a 30-minute interview. I will link it in the description down below. You guys can watch that video on YouTube. It's actually very insightful, but again, he gets asked about the controversy, which of course brings up his Marvel comments. And here's what he said in that interview. It might be cinema to the kids seeing those films, but I don't get it. At least let me put it this way. I've seen 1 or 2. That's enough. Because it's the same thing over and over, you know? I look at the theaters, and most of the theaters are playing superhero films. I said, so what's left? Do we have any theaters left for movies? And then, like I said, it's a long interview. You guys can check out the entire thing. It is rather interesting. Now, let's talk about his thing. So he's seen 1 or 2 comic book movies, and they're all the same. They're all the same. I'm glad to know that Man of Steel is just like The Dark Knight, which is just like Guardians of the Galaxy, which is just like The Joker, which is just like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, which is just like Batman and Robin. Do you guys see the issue here? Do you guys see how he's approaching this? He's seen 1 or 2 comic book movies. He doesn't say what they are. For all we know, he could have seen Spider-Man 3 and Batman Forever and goes, yeah, these are terrible. This is what Marvel and comic book movies are? Yeah, I don't want to watch this. Again, you know, let's be real. We've moved to the point where there's like 5 to 6 comic book films a year. None of them are the same. There's a guy swinging around in New York and around Europe. There's a giant bombastic comic book film that's been built up for 11 years that sees like 35 characters at once fighting this evil big dude. There's Shazam, a small story centered on character development and heart. There's Joker, which is completely different than anything else this year, and that's all just this year. Yeah, this is an issue. Honestly, I think this one, and no offense to Scorsese, this is a literally old man doesn't understand what is happening. It's literally, if you watch that interview when he gets to those parts, honestly, you might as well just be like, yeah, okay, boomer, and just shut it off, because it's really sad. It really is. It's like you don't understand what's popular, so you're just yelling at the clouds because it's not what it used to be.